Hello, welcome to my video about the server cabinet and the uninterruptible power supply UPS. So here you see a photo of my server cabinet. Let's go through the devices quickly from left to right. This is my ISP's router. It has a toggle switch at the back, which is not convenient to access, especially for a non-expert. Would be either afraid of all the cables or would damage something. So therefore I put a little switch at the top. It's an opener switch. If you press it, it disconnects the ISP's router from the power, and when you release the button, power is given back to the router. So here you can force a reboot of the router very easily from the front. Here we have the UPS, uninterruptible power supply, very convenient. I'll come to that in a minute in more detail. Over here I have a Raspberry Pi. You see the USB power cable, easily accessible at the front. And this Raspberry serves my smart home center. It also has a DHCP server of my network and the name daemon. Here we have a network attached storage, nothing special on that. Here we have a 24 port switch and all the ports are taken, I think. Here we have a power strip, and the whole power strip is behind the UPS. So and all the plugs are labeled. So in case I'm not on site and there is a problem, it is clear which power is in which socket. Up here in the ceiling there is a fan I connected during summer when it's 30 degrees outside. It can be 40 degrees here in the cabinet. So this fan pushes out the hot air and by that implicitly sucks in 30-degree air from elsewhere in summer to avoid overheating of the components. So here, nothing special. The main item is I've taken care for non-expert that most things are labeled, are easy to describe what to do and what not to do. Now let's have a look at UPS, uninterruptible power supply. This was my situation without UPS, and if there is a power cut, and it has happened regularly unfortunately, if there is a power cut, everything is switched off, and the ISP router needs quite a long time to reconnect and provide internet. It takes around 3 minutes, and after that internet is available and the router is fine. The Wi-Fi is a bit quicker, about 2 minutes. Then for another minute it's kind of idling and waiting. It reconnects to the router, everything's fine. My Raspberry Pi server for the smart home center, DHCP, name daemon, also a little bit quicker, also waiting and reconnecting. So that has always been working fine. But I have several dozens of clients, many Raspberry Pis, many smart switches and other smart devices connecting to the Wi-Fi or the LAN. And each time there was a power cut, it was 2 or 3 components who didn't manage to reconnect once the network was up and running. So such component kept waiting, but it was not accessible through the network. So you first had to identify those components, you had to go there, access it, disconnect it from power, reconnect it from power, so it's booting again, and then they were fine. So this was kind of annoying. And due to internally caused or externally given power cuts, it was really worthwhile to invest into a UPS. Space consumption and cost is quite affordable and convenient, so it's not a big deal. I thought actually they were much bigger, but as you can see here, this UPS not that big, and it supports all those devices here for I think up to 3 hours with electric power. If we go back to the UPS situation, of course much nicer, because if there is a power cut, the ISP router remains active, the Wi-Fi remains active, the server remains active, and then the clients, after they have rebooted and want to connect, they find a readily available network, they join that, and it's a done deal. I have one device, it's the interface between the KNX bus and the LAN. This really requires the network to be up and running at boot. Then it uses the DHCP service. But if there is no DHCP service at the boot of the device, it will never connect. So here I also mounted and installed some switch. When you press it, you disconnect the interface from the power. And when you release the switch, it connects again, so you can force a hard reset, a reboot of the small device in case something went wrong, and then everything is working again. So that was a short video. The main takeaway is make things easily accessible, avoid non-experts using switches on the back in the harness mess which are not well to be accessed. I strongly recommend the use of a UPS. And if I would redecorate my flat or my home, I would lay special power lines to the places where I have the Wi-Fi, so that the complete Wi-Fi remains up and running during a power cut. Thanks for listening. This documentation, my wiki, you find the address below the video and in my channel. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.